In the heart of Ternopil, Ukraine, the aftermath of a devastating Russian airstrike has left the city in ruins. Thick plumes of smoke rise from the wreckage, and the destruction is evident at every turn. Rescue workers are battling the intense fires while trying to evacuate residents trapped in damaged apartments. With the death toll from the airstrikes now rising to 20, authorities are working tirelessly to recover survivors and provide aid to those in need. The attack, which targeted not only Ternopil but also other western Ukrainian cities like Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk, marks a significant escalation of violence in an already war-torn region. The scene in Ternopil is one of chaos and fear. Families that once lived in what they considered safe and secure neighborhoods now find themselves facing destruction, their homes reduced to rubble. As the rescuers make their way through the debris, the air is filled with the sound of sirens, the chatter of emergency workers coordinating their efforts, and the soft cries of those who have survived but are still processing the horror they've witnessed. In the midst of the devastation, local residents are trying to make sense of the tragedy. People who were once neighbors are now displaced, their lives turned upside down in a matter of moments. Many of them are still searching for missing loved ones, hoping for a miracle even as the cold reality of the situation sets in. The destruction, the Ukrainian National Police have cordoned off the area to allow emergency teams to work without interference. There's a sense of urgency as rescue operations continue, but there's also an undercurrent of sorrow. It's a reminder that behind every piece of rubble, there's a human story, a life torn apart in an instant by an indiscriminate attack. Emergency workers are pushing forward despite the danger. The smoke rising from the multi-story buildings is not just an environmental hazard, it's a symbol of the violence that has consumed this city. Firefighters who have been on the ground since the first moments of the attack are working under extreme pressure, trying to extinguish the flames that threaten to engulf what's left of the damaged buildings. With every passing minute, the fire spreads further, making the rescue efforts even more challenging. The damage is overwhelming. Entire sections of the city have been reduced to rubble, and the fires have made it nearly impossible for rescue teams to access certain areas. But they press on, knowing that time is of the essence. The longer survivors remain trapped, the less likely it becomes that they will be found alive. But still, the rescuers refuse to give up. Their determination is unwavering, even as the scale of the destruction continues to grow. At the scene, police officers are providing security, while emergency responders focus on extracting survivors. The air is thick with tension and anxiety. The loss of life in this attack is tragic, and there's a collective desire to find and rescue as many people as possible before it's too late. But for many families, the wait is agonizing. They stand at the edges of the chaos, hoping for news, clinging to the hope that their loved ones might be among the survivors. As the fire continues to rage, the situation grows more desperate. The smoke has now spread across much of the city, leaving it shrouded in a thick haze. Visibility is poor, making it difficult for rescuers to navigate through the debris. Yet their resolve remains strong. They know that the clock is ticking and every minute counts in their efforts to save lives. In the midst of the crisis, local authorities have sprung into action. Emergency shelters have been set up to accommodate the growing number of displaced people. Medical teams are working around the clock to treat the injured, and humanitarian aid is being rushed to the area to provide support to those in need. But despite these efforts, the scale of the destruction means that help will not come quickly enough for everyone. For the people of Ternopil, this airstrike is not just another day in an ongoing conflict. It's a moment of unimaginable loss. It's a stark reminder of the brutality of war and the devastating impact it has on civilian lives. As the world watches from a distance, it's easy to forget that behind every attack, behind every news report, there are real people experiencing real pain, people who have lost everything, their homes, their livelihoods, their loved ones. And yet, despite everything, there's still hope. Despite the overwhelming odds, the people of Ternopil continue to fight. They continue to search for survivors, to dig through the rubble, and to support each other in the face of unimaginable loss. There is strength in their unity, and as the days go on, the city will rebuild. It will take time and it will take effort, but the spirit of the people will endure. As emergency teams work relentlessly to save lives, the international community watches closely. The Ukrainian government has vowed to hold those responsible for this attack accountable, and there are calls for stronger international intervention to help end the violence. But for now, the people of Ternopil remain focused on one thing: survival. they will continue to fight for their lives and for the lives of their loved ones, no matter how difficult the road ahead may be. This attack, though devastating, will not break the spirit of Ternopil's residents. As long as there is life, there is hope. And as long as there are rescuers willing to risk everything to save others, the people of Ukraine will continue to find strength in the darkest of times. The crisis in Ternopil is far from over, but in the midst of the destruction, there's still a glimmer of hope. A hope that, through the tireless efforts of rescue workers and the unwavering spirit of the people, the city can and will rebuild, and perhaps one day the horrors of this day will be replaced with memories of resilience, unity, and the strength of a community that refused to be defeated.
Alina, dai masco.